Hi, it's the M.L.M for the Soul channel. I do have a new topic for today. Before I begin, I just would like to say, may the words and expressions of my mouth, the thoughts and meditations of my heart find favor and acceptance before you, Hashem. Some people I thank have inspired me. I hope they can inspire you as well. And I will have links below this video to their sites. They are Rabbi Shalom Arush, Rabbi Lazer Brody, Rabbi Yosef Mizrahi, Rabbi Eli Mansour, Rabbi Lon Anava, Rabbi Yuval Ovadia, Rabbi Daniel Asser, Nisan Baruch Black, David Sachs, Rabbi Michael Skoback, Jews for Judaism, Rabbi David Ashir, Rabbi Yaron Ruvain, and Rabbi Yosef Chesney. As though if you've never checked out the channel before, I will have a link below to my first video, which explains what M.L.M for the Soul means, what it stands for, and what I'm doing. So this is related to the upcoming parasha, and this is from the weekly parasha Insights by Rabbi Eli Mansour. And this is on parashat Lech-Lecha, which is upcoming, and I call this Learn from the Avot, and the Avot are our forefathers, and particularly what we call the patriarchs, which are Avram, Yitzchak, and Yaakov. So Parshat Lech-Lecha begins as Hashem commands Avram to leave his home and to go to Eretz Yisrael. The commentators ask why the Torah uses the dual phrase Lech-Lecha and not just Lech. The Baal HaTurim in his commentary to the Torah offers two answers. First, he notes that the numerical equivalent, which is the gematria of Lech-Lecha, is 100. Hashem hinted to Avram that he would not see the blessings he was promised until he reached the age of 100. Second, Hashem hinted to Avram that he would die in 100 years at the age of 175. The rabbis teach us that leaving his birthplace and traveling to an unknown destination was one of the 10 tests. That's called the Asara Nisyonos, which Hashem tested Abraham. However, we must ask why this is considered to be a test, as Hashem promised him that he would receive children, money, and fame. If so, this doesn't seem to be a very difficult test. Among the other tests, the Midrash relates that Abraham threw himself into a fiery furnace rather than worship Nimrod. On the one hand, this appears to be the greatest test, as Abraham was willing to sacrifice his life for Hashem. However, it appears leaving his home was greater than the other tests. The Jewish people throughout history succeed in momentary tests similar to Avram's test of faith. However, an open-ended test day after day is much harder. Hashem commands Abraham to move to Eretz Yisrael where there is a famine, and he must leave to Egypt, where his wife is taken captive. Avram experiences one problem after the other. The test spawned years. It is harder to, quote, live a sacrifice than to, quote, die in sacrifice. The Mesilas Yesharim explains that every day we are tested. These are the day-to-day tests which you confront, and they are difficult. Great people don't only pass their momentary tests, but they excel day after day. So the Ramban explains that our forefathers were unique in that their actions created templates for the rest of Jewish history. This is known as Maseh Avot Siman Labanim, that the deeds of the forefathers are a sign for their children, their descendants and their generations. So, for example, he explains that just as Abraham went into the land of Israel and settled at Chai, years later Yehoshua's first stop when he brought the people into Israel is Chai. Similarly, the Ramban explains that just as Abraham went to Egypt because of a famine, and Hashem punishes Paro for taking Sarah, and then Abram is released and sent away with gifts. Years later, the sons of Yaakov go to Egypt due to a famine, and after being enslaved by Paro, they are set free with great wealth. Abram created the templates for Jewish history. For this reason, it is important to carefully study the lives of the Avot, who created these templates for their descendants, and learn from everything. That's what the Torah is. It's a book of instruction. You're supposed to learn from how it's an example for us how to live our lives and how to do the right thing for Hashem, and that we will all merit to live and see the coming of Mashiach speedily in our days and the rebuilding of our final and everlasting Beit HaMikdash. Amen, and thanks for watching.